enjoy that read, the first part. The second part is about how do we recognise it. Thinking, as we know, causes a feeling, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling. And we've all experienced both of them. And I know everybody in here would like to experience the good feeling all the time. As I mentioned earlier, the voice of temptation is always going to be there, every day. That's its job. For me, personally speaking, I knew it was my thinking, because I'd been everywhere else. Counselling, psychology, books I'd read, and it was always down to my thinking. The first part there was mentioned, where our thinking takes us in relationships with our family, our work colleagues, our friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners, husbands, wives, children, and the relationship that we have with these people and how we see them, because how we see ourselves. All my seminars are based on spirituality. Spirituality is basically a way of thinking, a way of behaving, and a way of being. Being a spiritual person, behaving in a spiritual way, and thinking in a spiritual way, which is about love. What is love? What is your definition of love? How do you perceive love to be? Is everybody in this room? I could ask, and everybody's definition of love would be completely different because of the experience that we had of love as a child, and maybe through our lives with that experience of love we have as a child. Sometimes when we see other people hurting, especially our own children, it can be very, very difficult. I've done a lot of work with Scottish Network of Family Support Groups for a long time. I noticed the fear in parents, myself included. My biggest fear when I left the rehab was that my only son would end up with me. And that was the kind of thinking that I had, which absolutely destroyed me. And it's a parent's nightmare for their child to end up the way they did. And then we blame ourselves. It's our fault that they've ended up like this, because we blamed our parents or other people. And then we're blaming ourselves again for our children. Whether we came through addiction, mental health problems, depression, we couldn't give 100% because we didn't know how to love, because of our thinking, our definition of thinking, that we believed love to be. Love is an energy, love is action. You'll hear different people talking about love. Love is patience, love is kind, love is this, love is that. And love is what you have perceived it to be. My definition of love was completely wrong, because my definition of love was through expectations, expecting other people to behave, think and act the way I did. And I looked for love of the other people because I didn't know how to love myself. I looked for love of the God of my understanding, but I didn't know him. It was a picture in somebody else's God that I had, the God that somebody else had brought me up with and taught me, as I mentioned earlier. And that absolutely destroyed me, because I was praying to something out with me to help me in the inside. And as we all know, it's an inside job. To love myself, I had to feed my spirit with loving, caring, spiritual thoughts, believing that I am spirit, believing that I can get well, truly believing that I will be healed, truly believing that I can change, truly believing that the God of my understanding is in me, through me. And that is the most beautiful experience I could ever experience, is be tapping into that energy. And as I said, try and not judge on what I'm sharing, try and experience it first before you make a judgment, because the judgment is also a lie. Because the dark side doesn't want you to get well. That's its job, and it's really, really good at it. But there's a power that lies within you. Can you defeat the darkness? Through you truly believing and trusting in yourself and that power, and getting to know that power that lies within you. People who work a 12-step program have got a step 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve your conscious contact. That step alone tells you your spirit, because there are 12 spiritual steps. And when you experience the meditation, you will experience the power that lies within you. And when you experience that, just for that wee short instance, then you will want more. You're picking up another addiction. You're chasing and looking for that feeling, the same as you do when you get Reiki, the healing of the hands, or acupuncture. You'll go back and get it, and you'll go back and get it, and you'll go back and get it. It's like gambling, or golf. You're terrible at golf till you hit that one ball and it goes right in the middle and lands on the green. You're like, oh, wow, I love golf. No, and you've changed your whole thinking, and it's like you're into another relationship. When you've renewed your mind, you will see the difference because you have no expectations and you have no pictures. Then you look at the thinking. One of my biggest fears, as I've mentioned and a lot of people know, is that it wasn't, when I left the rehab back then, I didn't have a fear of taking drugs or alcohol again. My fear was sex, making love with other people, with another person, and that fear destroyed my soul, absolutely destroyed me. And I just couldn't believe the fear overwhelmed me. And when I went into a relationship without any chemicals in me and tried to make love, and my thoughts absolutely destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. Telling myself that I couldn't do this, kept telling myself I couldn't do it. And I've seen shame and guilt that I carried through that, and the fear and the anger. Where I ended up isolating myself because of my own thinking. I get back again to the children and the damage that I'd done to myself, with the fear that my only son was going to end up like that. Then you hear a word called powerless. We are powerless over other people, places, things and situations. And to accept that is freedom. I have no power or control over another soul, another human being. I cannot change that person. I cannot control them, whether it's my own son or my daughter. I have no power whatsoever. And to accept that takes tremendous courage through your thinking. A lot of people I work with are in recovery, have their children taken away from them. And 9 out of 10 that I've worked with who have renewed their mind and changed their behaviours have had their children back. And the difficult part is to watch another person suffering, especially your own child, or a friend, or a member of your family, who are caught up with mental health problems, depression, addiction, and we want to get in there and rescue them because our head's telling us that we can do this. And we went in there because we believe that is love. And basically, in the spirit world, we're stopping other people from learning from their own mistakes. We are blocking them from learning their lessons and returning to a power greater than themselves. And we become that power, and we want to get in and rescue them. And 10 times out of 10 when you're doing it, you'll end up resenting the person you're in to help. Because of your expectation, because of your thinking. Because they aren't doing what you expected them to do. And we won't accept it, we have no power or control over that human being. And when we went in to rescue them, we become the victim. And the person that we said we loved and wanted to help, we end up hating and not speaking to them again. Thinking, to me, is the only problem that I ever had. I can say that today. It's the only problem I had. I am the problem. My thinking was the problem. Nobody else is my problem. I kept buying in to other people and looking at other people, and that caused a massive problem in my life. This whole journey was about us and getting to find out who you are through your own experiences, not the experience of other people, through your own experiences. Your pain is your teacher. That is your strength. Your biggest asset is your pain, because when you feel the pain, the spirit is saying your mind is causing the pain. When my body aches, I know it's the damage that I've done to my thinking, through my thinking. When you go and read other spiritual books, they'll give you the cause of your illness or your disease, the spiritual cause. And it will show you how to change your thinking and how to love yourself. How do you love yourself when you belittled yourself and told yourself for 20 or 30 years that I'm a good person now, I'm a loving person. To even say they thoughts is very, very difficult, because you have damaged yourself for so long. And we feel, for me, I felt stupid saying, I love me, look at me. I used to put wee bits of paper on the mirror when I was shaving, look at me loving you. And I used to sit and laugh and then go, don't you be so stupid, and take the paper down and fling it in the bin. Because I wouldn't do the things that were good for me. Because that wasn't normal. That was me changing, and I didn't like change. Most of us don't like change. We'd rather sometimes just stay where we were. To change your thinking is a process. Like the next seminar on the 11th, the next month in here, on Tuesday night, it's going to be about the process of change. Taking you right through the whole process and spending the whole seminar. But it's a question and answer seminar. I'm giving people an opportunity to ask questions that I might not cover. And then the third seminar is on the 22nd of April. This is going to be called Trust in the Spirit, and how we can trust ourselves, and where we fail to trust ourselves. So how do we get rid of that thinking, and how do we change that thinking, that pattern of thinking that we've had for 20 or 30 years? Remember, some people in here have got children, so you've watched children and you know what I've been saying, how innocent they are, that they can run about naked. You could buy them a £200 toy, put it in a cardboard box. You'll disregard the toy and they'll play with the box, because they're not material minded. They're innocent children, and they don't have resentment. They'll maybe throw a tantrum 5-10 minutes later, they're back playing with their toys. A child will look you right in the eye and tell you the truth. I don't like you, I love you. They have no fear whatsoever about the other person's reaction. And that's why myself, I became a people pleaser. I wanted people to like me, I wanted people to love me. And then when I went to my bed at night, I was eating boxes of crisps and packets of biscuits, comfort eating. I ended up 15, 16 stone, because I didn't know how to deal with these feelings and emotions. And it was my spirit that was talking to me. And I lived in a world of, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have said that. More biscuits, more crisps, more biscuits, more crisps. Because nobody told me how to change. Change was difficult, I was frightened of change. Because I kept telling myself, I can't do this, I can't change. Change is too... I hear this word, it's a word I don't use, as most people who know me today will say. I don't use the word hard. As soon as I say, that's too hard, that's it, I won't do it. I won't touch it. If I say, this is difficult, why is it difficult? Because I'm going against the grain in my life. I'm going against what I believed to be right. And now I'm going to have to start changing again. So how do we change our thinking? First of all, you have to recognise it. You feel the dip. That's your warning sign. Your thinking is taking you into looking at somebody else and what they should and shouldn't have done. You're then blaming them. You get the warning sign. You'll end up maybe going to the doctors, headaches, stress, pains in the back of your neck. I ended up with all sorts of things, arthritis, because arthritis for me, which I read and believed and applied to my life, the spiritual way of thinking, which healed it, was I was stuck. Arthritis to me was down to my negative thoughts, my negative thinking. The spondylitis was a nervous thing. Bell's palsy was a nervous thing. When I ended up 7 times, I've still got the mark under my eye, big bag in my eye to remember me. My Bell's palsy was caused my fear, my control, trying to control my anger, because I didn't want to be angry, I didn't want to hurt anybody, and I didn't want to hurt myself. And it was attacking my nervous system because I didn't know how to change it. And it was coming out of my body. It was coming out in Bell's palsy, it was coming out in burning on my stomach, lying on my stomach, it was coming out in spondylitis of the spine, the stress that I had, the pain that I was in, the pain body, as Edgar Tolle speaks about, it was all through my thinking. My fear of getting into relationships was all through my thinking. The hatred, the resentment, the badness was all through my thinking. How I saw other people, the horrible negative dark thoughts that I had towards other people is absolutely destroying my soul, destroying me. And it didn't matter how many books I read, it didn't matter how many people I spoke to. I went to a lot of spiritual people and I went for spiritual direction. Nobody could tell me how to change my thinking. And I found that very, very difficult. To isolate and I came away from people. And for 3 years I learned to practice quiet in my mind. Because I wanted to be the master over my own mind, body and spirit. I exercised. Done good things for me. And that was the start of my change. Losing the weight that I'd put on, I took responsibility for it. For the way I was eating. Because of my thinking. Started it when I was negative and in that dark place. I wasn't washing, I wasn't cleaning myself regularly. My mind wasn't healthy, my thinking wasn't healthy. The damage I'd done to my spirit was dead. Mind, body and spirit. When you let the mind go, the body, the spirit dies. We let the body go and we let the spirit go. And we don't know how to feed the spirit with loving and caring thoughts. We find it very difficult. It's okay when you're in a good space, if you notice how your thinking was at that time, and you can trace that back. How was I thinking at that time? I created that feeling through my choice of thoughts. I created that. And then the next time you're feeling really bad and down and upset, it's because of your thinking. Everything in life is through your thinking. Everything. I done what other people told me because I wanted them to like me. I was like a sheep, I just followed everybody else. Someone would come up with an idea and I would just agree, that's a great idea. Mum will go and steal that, and Mum will go here, and Mum will go and do this, Mum will go and do that. A terrible fear of other people and what they would think about me. And we do that sometimes with our children. We even please our children because of the fear that they won't love us. Then we punish ourselves because of our old behaviour. The way we used to think, even when you're in recovery and you stop doing some of the things that you used to do, and you still can't feel good about yourself. Because nobody's told you, it's just your thinking, you need to change. You don't need to change the world. You can't change other people because you've already accepted that and you understand that. I can't change another person. If someone comes to you and asks you for help, then they've opened the door to let you in. Until then, I stay out of other people's lives. I have to stay out of other people's lives because I'm interfering with their progress, their spiritual progress. I'm interfering with the lessons that the universe is trying to learn them. And I'm interfering because I want them to like me and say, you're a nice guy, thank you, you helped me, you saved my life. And I can walk away with the ego telling me, oh, look at how nice a guy you are, you're really good. And really the ego was destroying me and telling me how bad a person I was. For the rest of my life I'm right through it, absolutely destroying myself through my own thoughts, listening to the ego. And as I mentioned earlier, the thoughts are energy, and you will feel it. You will feel that energy when you're doing something good. But when you learn to meditate and quiet your mind, you will also experience what I shared with you, a power greater than yourself, working through you, with you, and in you. And you can achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. Nothing is impossible. The power of the mind will take you to places beyond your wildest dreams. Instead of sitting back and saying, I'm no good, I can't do that, I'll never be able to do that. You've just told yourself that, and you have believed that that is right what you have just said. Where did the evidence come from? Where do we gather the evidence from? There's nobody around about you hurting you. Why do you hurt? Why do we continue to hurt? Have we not been through enough pain in our lives that we get to a certain age now that we can say, enough's enough, keys, I surrender. My way isn't working. I've got to try something different here. The only thing that's hurting me is me. Me. Nobody else. Physically, yes. Emotionally and spiritually, We're good at doing that damage ourselves. We are our biggest critics. We are our biggest judges. We take everything so personal. We take everything so personal what other people say to us. We take everything so personal what we say to ourselves. Life's about freedom. Freedom of choice. Freedom of the mind. Freedom of that pain. Learn to live without the pain. You've lived with it for so long. Now aware that we've got a choice, that we don't have to live that way anymore. And that freedom comes through taking responsibility and letting other people go. Let them go. Detach with love away from the people that you have blamed for your hurt and pain in your life. Learn through challenging your own thought process to forgive those that you believed wronged you. Because forgiveness will set you free and will start the healing process. Why can't we forgive? I'm working with a guy just now, two guys at the moment, who are unwilling at this present moment to forgive, knowing that it's causing a lot of hurt and pain in their life, but they still choose not to forgive. And that's their choice, and I don't interfere with that. I do not try and influence them. I support people through their choices. I've made my mistakes through the past, trying to fix people, trying to give them what I had. I can't do that, but we're all here for different lessons. Everybody's got lessons to learn, that's why we're here on this planet. And we do live forever. And you get to see your family and friends and loved ones that we have lost. That's a promise. You get to see that through meditation. You get to feel it, you get to experience it. But your head will tell you no, because you haven't tried it yet. You haven't tried to find that peace yet that lies within you. Some people that I work with will say, I've done the 12-step program and I've never meditated. Some people I know 20, 30 years in recovery saying they've done the 12-step program and haven't accepted step 1. And are totally powerless over other people, places, things and situations. And they're still in pain. But the ego is telling them that they've done the 12 steps. And their ego is telling everybody else that they've done the 12 steps, what I did. Change is difficult. It's not hard. Thinking is the only thing that we can change, our own thinking. We can't change the way other people think and see us. And that is why I became a people pleaser. Because I wanted to try and change their thinking, how they saw me. And I would give them things that wasn't even mine. It didn't even belong to me. So they would like me and love me. I was shocked when people told me they didn't like me. Shocked, stunned. Because I thought I was a nice guy. But when I was using, I was quite a negative guy, quite a very, very angry guy. Nobody wanted to be around about me. And trying to get rid of that anger and that fear and that worry and that shame and that guilt and that jealousy and all the insecurities that I learned within my home and in my environment. Because I didn't wake up one morning with all the negative behaviours and that racing head and the 2 and 3 voices going on in my head. I was an innocent child without a care in the world. I learned to do the things I'd done. And my thinking was my addiction. The king of all addictions is your own thoughts. Not the drugs, not the drink, not the gambling, not the sex. Your thinking took you to that. You got up in the morning, I'm going to have a drink. That's a thought. Got up in the morning, think I'll go to the bookies. That's a thought. You chose that thought. Got up in the morning, I'm going to have a bad day. That's a thought. You choose that thought. Everything is through thinking. I'm going to have a good day today. That's my choice. I'm going to have a great day today. That's my choice. I'm going to see the good in other people, no matter what wrong they have done. Because when I have a bad thought towards them, I hurt. I hurt me. And that's my choice. Why can't I have a good thought towards myself? Why can't I have a good thought towards other people? Because my mind's been conditioned to think the way it thinks and see the badness in other people, family, friends, partners, children, because the pain becomes so much in our lives that we don't know how to change it. Recognise the pain through the body. When your body's in pain, and you're feeling the pain in the back of your neck and the stress and the butterflies in your stomach, that's the Spirit showing you, change your thinking, please change your thinking. Because this gets worse, it does not get easy, as most of us have experienced in here, the same as myself. Our mind has took us to a lot of bad places. Freedom comes from taking full ownership and responsibility for your own thoughts, our own thinking. Never ever say to yourself, you can't do this. Never blame another person for how you feel. Sticks and stones may break your bones. Names and words can't hurt you anymore. Remember, the thoughts are negative. They're energy, dark energy. And when you open that to one bad thought, it attracts all these other dark thoughts. You can get way back to Buddha. 2,500 years ago, spoke about this. Christ himself spoke about it in the scriptures. When he spoke about when the evil spirit leaves the house and goes away, and if you don't clean that house, they'll come back with 7 more evil spirits, worse than the one that was in there. That was over 2,000 years ago we heard that. And you maybe hear it if you're religious and you go to church. Whatever religion you may have, everything teaches love. It goes back to love. And the Spirit is the Spirit of love. The Spirit is also the Spirit of truth. And it will speak to you in a quiet voice. It only speaks once. But your mind has to be quiet so that you can feel the prompting and the guidance of the Spirit. Where it will take you, lead you. It will show you things that you don't want to see. It will let you hear things that you don't want to hear because it's the truth. And the truth hurts us. And then we blame. Instead of just feeling the pain, you don't have to feel the pain every single day of your life. You felt enough pain. Today, the now, can be your opportunity and your chance to stop, to slow down, slow your mind down. Take deep breaths. Sit back on your own. Take 4 deep breaths. Just breathe in nice and easy. I am Spirit. I am Spirit. Let the mind just quieten and be still and know who you are, and you will feel the presence of the Spirit within you. Practice it. Not have to do it every single day. And if you want that, you will get it, because it lies in you, through your mind, through your thoughts, breaking the addiction and coming into a whole new way of thinking, spiritually, loving and caring thoughts towards yourself and other people, believing and trusting in yourself that you can achieve anything in life through thinking, positive thinking. People have been saying it for years, for centuries. But it's to change it. We find it difficult because of what we tell ourselves in our own head. That we can't do it, when you can do it. I stand here as an example. You've been insane. Totally insane. Suicidal, depressed, unhappy, angry, resentful guy. If you'd stand up here today with humility, gratitude, love, understanding, that we all hurt through our addiction to our own thinking, our own thoughts. And we're attracting this dark energy every time we have a negative thought. We'll run with it, and we'll run with it, and we'll run with it. And you'll even say to people, that's not the right thing to do. But our arrogance and our pride and the ego is telling you, I don't care. I used to sit and say that. I don't care how much pain I'm in. I am not forgiving that person. I am blaming that person. That person hurt me. There's nobody around about me hurts me. As I mentioned earlier, we are our biggest judges, our biggest critics. We take everything that's said personal, and we allow other people's words to hurt and damage our spirit, and we do not take responsibility for it. Recovery is recovering from an illness of the mind, which was caused by what we saw and heard as children. And we grew up in an environment. And then when you hear that, oh, it was my mum and dad's fault. Mummy and daddy learned from their mummy and daddy. And it's passed down from one generation to the next generation. And we've all got crosses to bear, some heavier than others. You can put the bit of wood down now. You don't need it. You can lighten your load. Start taking responsibility for your own thoughts and learn to quiet your mind with no answering the thoughts back. You will then recognise them. When your mind is still, you can hear the thought before you even speak it. You will hear the thoughts coming in and you will be able to recognise that thought. Or else your body, when you're running with the thought too long, your body will let you know that you're running with this thought. Stop it. Stop telling yourself lies. Stop telling yourself that you can't achieve what you really want to achieve in life. Don't go through your life in the next 5 or 10 years and saying, I wish I could have done that. I wish I'd have done that. Start now. Don't leave it. Within a week, you'll see a massive improvement. Within 2 weeks and a month, you will see the peace and tranquility that you have created through taking responsibility and believing and trusting in yourself that you can change your thinking. What is it to say, stinking thinking that leads to drinking? They got that one right, didn't they? Stinking thinking takes us to dark, dark, dark places. Believe in yourselves, my friends. Trust in yourselves that you can achieve anything in life through challenging your own thought process. Challenge it. You'll find your own way of dealing with it. I've got my way. Other people have got their way. I don't answer it back now. That's how I learn to quiet my mind. I let the thoughts come in and I just let them go back out again. I don't answer them back. That way it's not got any energy, no power over me. I am not giving it the power. And as I mentioned, it'll go away because you're giving no power. When it sees you, the ego is believing in the thoughts that you have. That is what ego is. You believe, what you interpret in your own mind, you believe. That is the ego. What you tell yourself when you start to believe is the ego. And the spirit goes against that. Non-identification with thought is when you are free from the ego. When you do not identify with the thoughts that's coming in your head, you are free from ego. When you be still and feel the presence of who you really are, you are free from the horrible thoughts. Let them go. Don't feed them. Don't answer them back. Don't have a conversation with it. And you will see, you will find a true inner peace second to none through being able to challenge these thoughts. Believe in yourself. Don't lie anymore to yourself. Because you're all loving, caring, spiritual beings having human experiences. And some of the experience can be very, very painful, as we've all experienced here tonight. But this is a chance of freedom. This is a chance to own these thoughts. Change your whole vocabulary, the way you speak, the way you think. Pick up some spiritual books. Go and listen to some audio CDs. Listen to spiritual teachers. Don't judge them. Because you'll see when somebody's speaking and trying to give you the message from the light, whoever's guiding you, trying to help us, and we won't take that help because we're so trapped in the dark and the light can't get in to heal us and help us because we're denying it, because the dark has the power over us. And when we finally recognise that we are light and we are power, and we are full of powerful energy, positivity, you will see the dark goes, it leaves us. There's no power over you, there's no control over you, because you finally recognise that you are spirit and you are one with the divine spirit, and with that connection you are free from addictive thinking, and let that power begin to work through you, with you and in you, where we start to take the healing. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the body takes a bit of time to heal, sometimes the body will lie to you. Your head will be clear and your body will lie. And when you feel the queasiness in your stomach, the mind is clear, but your old way of thinking and reacting, you'll just run with that feeling in your stomach. And that's the body lying to you, and you've ran with the lies. And went right into the addiction again. And we find it very difficult because we're then trapped in that way of thinking. It's become normal, and we're caught in that trap, like a squirrel cage. And we all know where our thinking has taught us. I believe everybody in here has experienced depression, fear, anger, hostility, and still we can be trapped in that. And it's all through thoughts. Believe in yourselves, my friends. Trust in yourselves that you can do this through practice. Every single day we have to practice. And then it becomes a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and a new way of being spiritual. Some people say you have to have thoughts, you have to think. I don't. I get up in the morning and prepare myself. I know what I have to do that day, and then that is me. I don't have to think anymore. And the thoughts that I do have are good thoughts. I'm going to have a good day. I talk to my family and friends in the spirit world because I know they're with me and they're guiding me. I'm so grateful every morning when I get up. It's the first thing I do in the morning when I get up. Is I thank the God of my understanding for giving me another day and another life, a day at this life. When other people that I knew and loved didn't get that chance and that opportunity. And I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful I can see. I'm grateful that I can speak. I'm grateful that I can hear. I'm grateful that I can walk. I'm grateful that I have arms and legs and limbs. I'm so grateful that I've not got any hair. And my gratitude, as I mentioned earlier, nothing can touch you. Out of all the beautiful, positive virtues in life, gratitude is the king, the top. Nothing can touch you when you're grateful for having these things that I just mentioned, and being truly grateful that you're clean, you're sober for this day when you couldn't get a day. And then when we get into maybe 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, we're still lacking that trust. Life is full of wonders, full of great opportunities. The potential that lies within every person, every spirit in this room is beyond our wildest dreams. I know you can achieve this. I believe in you because I believe in myself now. And I know that if I can achieve it, anybody can achieve it. When you understand yourself, and to understand yourself is to stand under, is to be humble. And yet to that humility come into your lives. And it's okay then getting out and helping other people and supporting other people, as long as we're not looking for that pat on the back and that approval from them. Learn to love ourselves through your thoughts. Learn to approve of yourself. Learn to believe and trust in yourself through your thinking. And you will see it's beyond your wildest dreams. Because the only thing that hurts us is our thinking. And the thing that will build you back up is your thinking. And I am so, so grateful that everybody came here tonight, cold, snowing, icy, and to sit there with the attention. It's a very humbling, grateful experience for me to stand up here and be able to do what I do, because I've been doing this for 19 years. Standing up here was something I was frightened of, but it was something I always wanted to do. Throughout my whole life, I belittled myself and believed I couldn't do anything. But I believed my life experience and the work I've done, I had to give it away, because I can only keep what I've got by giving it away. I got it for nothing, freely, and I'm giving it away freely. I don't have an ego. I don't do it for gratification or approval. I do it because I love supporting and giving away what I've got, seeing other people getting on with their lives and changing their lives and knowing that I had a wee bit to do with it. That's, for me, is is the most beautiful experience I've ever had, is seeing other people changing because they wanted to change. And I finish with that. Desire it. Desire it more than you've desired anything else. Take away your addiction, which is your thinking. Address it. No more poor me's. No more pity parties. No more self-indulgence with chemicals, food. No more destroying your spirit through your own thoughts. Lift your spirit up. Build your spirit up. Build your soul up. And by doing that, you'll help build other people up and becoming powerful, great examples to other people through you changing. Because that is the power of example. Is when other people change, and people said that we couldn't change, that we were no good, and we believed that as children. And we took it right through our whole lives with us. The lies that other people told us. And we believed the lies that destroyed us. Now it's time to take your life back and believe in yourself, trust in yourself that you can do this. Because all you're asked to do is take responsibility for your own thoughts, challenge them, get rid of them, don't answer them back, don't outfeed them, do not give them any power over you, and you will see the peace that you created through taking responsibility for your own thinking. And I'm very, very grateful to be here tonight, and I'm very grateful for everybody that came along to support Just Like Us, our drop-in centre. And I thank Ian Fowler for giving us his time, for coming along this evening, recording it and videoing it, and he didn't need to. I thank everybody for coming out in the cold and rain, all the people that I've known, people that I've just met. I thank Michael, Thomas, I thank Lorraine, Margaret and Andy, and I thank Chris who come to our drop-in centre and have come along here to volunteer tonight. And I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for the support that you've given us throughout the past 3 or 4 seminars. And I bless you all, and peace be with you. Thank you so much.
Excellent.